Good morning. We just walked out of the city hall. That was our thing for this morning. Update to my legal things. Turns out I'm already registered. So because I was born when these two were on a like temporary visa, I was automatically written in under their address. So I was already in the system. And so we got there and the guy was just like,
"Yeah, you're already here."
Yeah, you're already here.
Sure you haven't lived here?
Yeah, you just, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he kept being like, are you sure you haven't already lived here?
He has all these fond memories of the past.
Yeah,
house you lived
I
in.
remember it so
fond
clearly.
Memories, the pond.
But yeah, so that made it way easier. So
Can I just say, gold star for parenting?
Yeah, nailed it.
It's supposed to freeze this week, and I really want to go ice skating, so I'm getting my first personal pair of ice skates, and it feels weird because I'm so used to like the rental ones that you get, but very excited. Okay, what did you want to show?
My pens.
Oh, they're super frozen.
Yeah.
Can they stand up?
Not yet.
Oh.
Tomorrow they will.
Oh, they're just like wet.
Tomorrow they'll be super frozen. Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning they'll be frozen.
Yeah.
They're cutting down big trees. That's pretty cool. I'm off on a quick little run. Check this out though. I just got this super cool little running belt from Amazon. It's by Salomon, which are the same people that make my shoes. So now I can carry my phone and my GoPro and everything with me in that, instead of having to hold them both in my hands and running like I'm chasing after someone. Also, a lot of stuff kind of became real today in terms of the registration and everything, and officially like being written into the system, and I had to write like on the form like I'm moving here forever. Like that's, you know, not definitive, you know, things can always change, but it's definitive to a certain extent, and it's made a lot of things feel really real. And that chainsaw is not helping this conversation, but I feel like it diffuses it quite nicely. Everything feels really real right now, and my head feels really full at the moment, if that makes sense. So I'm going on a run to clear my head and just be physical for a little while and not think for a bit. So I don't know how far I'm gonna run. I have zero plan. I'm just gonna run until either I'm too sore or too tired or too bored to keep going. So let's get going. It's -1, I'm very cold, so I do need to get moving. Check this out. It's all still frozen here. It's been in the shade all day. It gives you a good idea of the kind of weather that I'm running in at the moment. It is not warm. Oh, my nose is running. Okay, I'm taking a quick break at the halfway point. I'm around 4Ks in now, but Extempore Art asked like what the deal actually was with my family and like everyone living in the Netherlands and me living in Australia. So short version is that right before I was born, my parents moved from the Netherlands all the way to Australia. My mum loved it. She went on a couple like internships and things like that beforehand, so she spent some time in Australia, and then she decided I'm gonna move and took my dad with her. I was born in Australia to Dutch parents, but because they were on a temporary residency, I got a Dutch passport and a Dutch nationality because they weren't permanently living there at the time. Their plan was to go back after 5 years. After those 5 years were up, they decided to become permanent residents, which, because I was their child, I became a permanent resident of Australia, but I was still a citizen of the Netherlands. Are you still following? So over the years, we've come back to the Netherlands. We've tried to come back once a year so that I could still have a relationship with my cousins and my family, so that I could still understand and be a part of Dutch culture and really understand my heritage. And ever since I was a kid, I always said to my parents that they were stupid for moving to Australia because the accessibility in Europe is just so much better. And then I decided to move to the Netherlands, and now we're here, and now it's all happening, and now I'm actually moving. That's the short version of the story. So I've always been Dutch, I've always called myself Dutch, I've called myself Dutch Australian. Dutch was my first language until I learned English, and now English is my first language because my Dutch sucks. It doesn't suck, but I have like the vocabulary of a 12-year-old. Anyway, that's the short version. Hopefully that answers some questions. I'm gonna get back to my run now and pretend that this wasn't an excuse to take a rest, which it most certainly was. All right, let's keep going. this is very quickly becoming my favorite part about running in the Netherlands, is running on sand for ages, like 4.5 Ks, and then suddenly you're on an actual path, and oh my god, does that feel absolutely amazing. Something that I've learned in the past like 2 years of taking my fitness seriously, like properly seriously, is that you go through these peaks and valleys in your training. For a little bit you always feel amazing, then you dip and then you feel like shit, and then you go whoop, and then you like step up another rung. And I had my peak recently when I did my 12.5 K. That was like my whoop, and now I've dipped and I feel like shit, and soon I'm gonna go back up and I'll have a new baseline. And that's what I'm waiting for, is for me to hit that baseline where I like actually feel okay again, and not like I'm gonna die after running 5 Ks. That's just a bit depressing. I thought I was past that point. That was 46 minutes, 6.55 Ks. Here's the Strava info. Ever since I did that 12.5 K the other day, once I hit 6 Ks, my right knee doesn't hurt, but it's like twinging, if that makes sense. Like I can definitely feel it. So I'm trying to take it easy. I don't want to do anything over like 7-8 Ks for a little bit, but I still want to run. So I'm just like, I'm riding that balance of like, at what point do I stop and what point do I keep going. But I think 6.5, 7 Ks is kind of my sweet spot for now, until my knee feels 100% better. Reviews of the new gear though, this running belt, amazing. The only time my GoPro slipped out of it was when it was my own fault. But I've just been slipping the GoPro. There's like a little back elastic thing and I can just stick it in there, and then my phone sits right here and I can pull that out and then check all trails and make sure I know where I'm going. And this shirt is amazing, super warm. I didn't need this 3rd layer today, so I will be set and good to go when the weather drops down to like -5 this week. I'll still be able to run, even though I'll probably not be running, I'll be ice skating. I'm gonna film the last little bit.
Yeah, you be quiet.
Or you can come be in it, up to you.
Okay.
Not very exciting. I just checked my Strava, or I checked my Strava like 2 hours ago, and it was actually way better than I thought, and I was complaining for nothing.
He offered that I could come in as well, so here I am.
Okay. I checked the Strava and I was actually heaps better than I thought. I did 6:30, which is my best 6 kilometer time ever. So I was complaining for no reason. It actually isn't a dip. Anyway.
I'm impressed. I did 10 kilometers today. How much did you do today?
Anyway, it's dark now, and that's the end of the vlog. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.